and welcome to our video introduction of Academic Search Complete. Academic Search Complete is one of the library databases with the broadest level of coverage. That means that no matter what you're looking for, no matter the subject, you are likely to find something helpful in Academic Search Complete. It includes basically all of the EBSCO databases that we have access to. So although the search strategies that we're talking about are going to be focused on the Academic Search Complete specifically, many of the tools that we're going to talk about show up in other EBSCO databases too. So if a database kind of looks like this with a blue top with this type of logo, it is likely that the things that you learn from this video will be transferable. You can get to Academic Search Complete and all of our databases from the library's website by clicking on Online Resources and then selecting the database that you're looking for. Academic Search Complete happens to be the first one. Most of the time, you're going to start by entering your search terms and going, but you can also browse by publication, subject terms, which are an index of controlled vocabulary. So different sources are tagged with different words and phrases to describe what they are about, and cited references. So if you are looking for a particular citation, that is a great place to go. You can also search images as well. Things like not only pictures, but graphs within articles. But we are going to stick with what you are likely going to do most of the time, which is searching in the search bar. But if you need help figuring out any of these other tools, don't hesitate to reach out to someone at the library. So you can start out, same as anywhere else, just pulling out your keywords. So maybe I'm looking at almonds and water because I am interested in sustainable growing practices to limit the water usage in almond crops. By default, it's going to search for a Boolean phrase. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but you can also, if you are just doing a simple search like this, click Find All My Search Terms. That means that it is going to only return results where the word almonds appears, and maybe I want to change that to almond to use the single rather than the plural, and where the term water appears. So if both of these words appear, it will show up in my search. If I used find any of my search terms, it would unnecessarily broaden my search for this because it is going to bring back any source with the word almond as well as any source with the word water. So it's going to be a lot of sources. Maybe not all of them are going to be helpful. Smart text searching is if you already have a description or an abstract of what you're looking for, and it will try to figure out what those keywords might be. So I'm going to stick with Find All My Search Terms. If I want, I could try to broaden my search by applying equivalent subjects. So it would look through the subject terms, see if anything matches. It would look for related words. It would look within the full text. Right now, I just want to leave all these unchecked, but if I am really struggling to find sources with my words, these are some ways that EBSCOhost will be a little bit more active in looking at different parts, so it will return more results. I can focus on just scholarly peer-reviewed journals, things that are full text within EBSCO. We wouldn't recommend this because you can still use interlibrary loan to get other sources that may be in here, but not in here as full text. I can also search by date, publication type, or if I'm looking for images, particular types of images included. But I'm just going to stick with my plain old search. Okay, so I get quite a few search results, and the first ones are actually looking pretty helpful. So if I need to, I can click Checked for Full Text. That will link me back to WISE, where I can either view the full text, or if no option like this exists, I would submit an interlibrary loan request. So those are the types of things you miss out on if you click only full text here, because it's only going to show you sources where the PDF is in EBSCO Academic Search Complete. I can click on the source to learn a little bit more about it. So it's going to show me the subject terms and keywords. These are things that I can write down and continue to search if I want to find more sources. So water footprint, that's an idea that I am not necessarily familiar with, but the author seems to think it's important. Irrigation farming, that would be something that would be important for me to look at. Maybe I search almond irrigation to learn about different irrigation methods. It will give me the abstract, it will give me industry codes. So if your research is tied to a type of business, you can search about within that business. That can be helpful for certain types of projects. And it will just give me a little bit more information. Not all of this is going to be useful to you. On the sidebar, you can save things in Google Drive. If you have an EBSCO account, which you are certainly welcome to create, but you do not need to, you can click Add to Folder so you can save all your sources in EBSCO. You can print this record, which again, you may want to just wait until you have that full text source to print. You can email it to yourself. You can save it again in your EBSCO account. Most of the time, the site is going to be helpful. So if I am citing an APA, I can pull this into my bibliography, and then I just need to cite in text. If I am using a citation manager like Mendeley, I can click export, and I can export that RIS file so that I can upload it to Mendeley. That can be quite helpful. If I was using a EBSCO account, I could click create note, and I could add notes to the articles that I have saved. So that can be helpful if that is your preferred way of searching. So I have a note that this looks helpful, found on this date, read on this date. Here are my notes from reading it. And the permalink is important if you want to come back to it. You can copy the link that shows up, and it is going to bring you back to this article every time. This link up here may not necessarily do that. So that is the basics of using EBSCO databases, finding an article, and the tools that you have once you find it. I could also expand my search, use some advanced search features, so that Boolean phrase, if I was a little bit more complex in my information needs, say I am not just looking at the water usage of almonds, but maybe I want to look for articles about sustainable water practices in farming almonds and sustainable water practices in livestock farming. I could put a search together that looks like this. Ooh. So these and or words are telling this Boolean search what I am saying. So this means I am looking for sources that talk about the word or the idea sustainable. They talk about water, and then they either talk about almonds or livestock. So this means what it could be, I am basically searching the keywords sustainable water almonds and the keywords sustainable water livestock at the same time. So this can be helpful for an expanded search. And maybe here, I might also want to search within the full text of the articles and apply equivalent subjects. I might want to focus only on scholarly journals for this particular research that I'm doing. And maybe I'm only looking for things that have been published since 2010. So let's see what happens. So I still get quite a few, and I believe that is because I applied equivalent subjects and also searched within the full text. That means that I am looking for these when they are more than just keywords. So if I were to X out of those, I would only get 469. But those 469 are likely going to be more helpful, especially with the not searching in the full text. That means that these words are important to these articles, and they're not just kind of maybe included once anywhere. So here I'm seeing fostering sustainable water use in almond orchards and a review on rangeland management in Pakistan. Water quality as an indicator of the health status of agro-pastoral dams ecosystems. So all these sources are giving me different perspectives on either almonds or livestock. If I uncheck scholarly peer-reviewed journals, then I can look at other types of sources. So I may see some videos. I can select magazines to see certain types of magazines, either popular, the ones that we are familiar with, maybe Scientific American, maybe Time, or trade magazines, which may provide different types of expertise than the scholarly sources. So just be mindful of, for your topic, what types of authorities are out there related to this issue. Are they all going to be writing in scholarly sources, or might there be outside perspectives that could also be helpful? So hopefully this short video has given you some insight into getting started with EBSCOhost. Please don't hesitate to reach out to anyone in the library if you need some extra help and guidance. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.